Nothing to do with it. Well, hold on. Control the current. Well, can you sort of coax me along with this? But we still have to go and wash it. And when he stacks up the dangy grams of land, how does he think? He controls his emotions. And so instead of like last time, it's like this time. You and your roommate have enough china, glasses, and booze for a round trip to Australia.
Oh, that's not wrong, Luke. The ultimate ability to be contributing. Grace's getting married. Getting her party.
If you can hijack a 707, you can start your own airline.
We thought of that. But none of us have a pilot's license.
But with the kind of fringe benefits you girls have to offer, I can get you a crew right now.
Terrific. Our Cloud Road just east of Manheim. Our tractor trailer jackknife and flipped over, turning on its side like a drunken dinosaur.
Joe, I need you tonight an awful bad. Now, if you're not out in 15 minutes, call me back and I'll get the highway patrol to bring you in. What else can go wrong? Let's get up and check the snow depth. I'll be back in time for his call.
You're not going anywhere. You're exhausted. You've been rushing around for 3 days.
I've got to get up there.
Why do you have to do everything yourself? You got an assistant. Let Mike do it. Sit down and relax. Get you some coffee and a sandwich. One thing you should do. You promised to call your wife back.
This is Mr. Bakersfeld talking.
Daddy! Isn't the snow super?
Baby, it's cool, real cool.
Mommy! Daddy's on the phone!
Hello, Dad.
Hi, Robbie.
Are you coming home tonight?
Well, at the moment, honey, I'm not so sure. See ya.
Say goodnight, Dad. Mommy wants to talk to you.
Good night, Daddy.
Night, Dad. You hung up on me before. Don't ever do that again.
Sorry, but I was rushing to get out onto the field.
Well, all right. We don't have time to argue about it now. You have a dinner jacket there. Meet me at the hotel.
I told you I can't make it. We've got an emergency. I have to stay here, probably all night.
You can't. You can't.
Listen to me, Cindy. In the past month, you've scheduled me for 7 of those charity meetings, and I made 4 of them. Now, that's not a bad habit.
I'm not a ball game where you keep score. I'm your wife.
Well, then try to remember it. Take up my position for a change.
Well, that's a hell of a thing to say. I'm only thinking about you. This isn't just another dinner. Dad'll be there and he wants to talk to you.
He's been talking to me for 15 years, and I've been saying no for 15 years.
And why? It's a wonderful opportunity.
I think that you two would have gotten the message by now. I'm not interested in your father's job. I've been in aviation for 20 years. That's what I'm trained for, that's what I like, and that's my life.
Yes, and what kind of a life? This would give you regular hours without a chance to be together and without children. And your income will be 3 times what it is now.
Sure. We can join the country club and get a bigger house.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, I'll get something straight. I'll support my family in my way on the income from my job.
And you don't give a damn about our future.
At the moment, I'm just trying to survive the present.
Well, maybe you won't have to.
What the hell does that mean?
You figure it out. If I don't hear your coffee in here, lie down for a minute. Hey, guess what? picked up a story from LA on Site 86. That makes 4 this month. VOAC had one on Monday. A 16-year-old.
You're wondering if we had another fight? The answer is no. Just a continuation of the same one. I guess I'm just as much to blame as she is. She's right. I don't look for excuses, nothing at all. Hello, Joe? Oh, Harry. Yes, all right. All right, I'll be right there.
A lot more men. All right, I'll try to round up some for you. That is an easier way. Captain Demarest has a good idea. Captain? Why don't you tell Mr. Bakersfeld? I've got an idea to make you Aviation Man of the Year, and Captain Benson agrees with me. We put pneumatic jacks out of the jacking plate and you lift her. Now when you get her high enough, you just fill her in, clamp over, and roll off on the flat. If every jack is an absolute level, she'll slide off. And you'll have a hole in the wing of the fuel tank. I'll stick with petroleum judgment. Okay, you do the hard way, but you better get this thing out of here, because I'm not taking off on 2-2. You'll use what's available. Well, 2-2, I'm not using noise or big then. I'm not cutting back on power on those houses, so unless you want a big fat bill for cracked glass and broken dishes, you better move this place. Easy. Another pilot comes up with an idea like that, hand him the show.
Yes, Peter?
Mr. Livingston, I got that story Mr. Miller told you about.
Bring it in. Hello. I'm Mr. David Constant. I'm Mrs. Livingston. Please do want to sit down. Oh, thank you, honey. Welcome back here. Well, I see you've done this sort of thing before.
Oh, yes, my dear.
But it's against the law. Why do you do it?
Well, you see, I'm a widow, and I have a married daughter in New York. Sometimes I get lonely for her and for the grandchildren. So I go down to the airport in Los Angeles, and I get on the plane that's going to New York. And then when I'm ready to go home, it's, well, vice versa.
Just like that, without a ticket.
Oh, my God, I just have my social security and this small pension that my late husband left me.
Have you ever been a stowaway on any other airline?
Oh, yes. But I like Transglobal the best.
Well, it's nice for me to satisfy customers.
How about the toilet? Oh, I understand. Stop.
Prevents just beaming out the hostages, and the impending arrival of the prey, they have limited time to go into your shuttle. In many cases, the stories are propelled forward by a series of answers to questions of how to get or each receive the last exclusively from the lab. Sergeant finds that the exact opposite then, where each answer prompts a question begetting a dumber answer than the lab, until he comes solely to the conclusion that Starfleet is completely incompetent in every conceivable way. It's the only way to justify any of this. Now, I've never personally been one to embrace the utopian ideal Trek is supposed to represent, but even I don't think that Starfleet is messed up to the point where their ships don't work and their leaders are all idiots. The more we see of this script, the more obvious it is that what Shatner is really telling isn't a Star Trek story. It's a science fiction story set in his own personal universe. And you know, that could have worked, but putting it in Star Trek is putting a round peg in a square hole. We're going to see this taken even further later on. They head down in a shuttle while Chekhov pretends to be the captain to distract Sybok. They need to land far away to avoid detection, but luckily they just happen to be near some guys with horses in the middle of the desert, which is where the infamous Aurora fan dance begins. It should be noted that this was suggested